I wanted to free my phone. I have it right here. I have a lot of stuff I need to delete and I don't want to do it right now. So I have these palettes that are now empties, depotted, been used and abused for years. The Marc Jacobs one is the first one here, which is the 860 Extravagance. This palette was like my absolute favorite for like a super long time. You can tell it's been through the ringer. The one thing I hated about this palette was that the black and the shimmers would break if you were not careful. And as you can tell, the times that it's been saved in like my bag, like my actual makeup bag, it's destroyed. Like the shimmers fell apart, everything fell apart. This one was the haze one from Huda. Another, I got powder. I got this one too. Some of them broke. The ones that I used the most was this one right here in the corner. And the one that I used the least were probably this top three, and I don't know why. I went more for like these bottom one, like these three were like my favorite. And the dark green one here was also like one of my favorites because it was shimmer. Like it's a really pretty, let me see if I can get a little bit here from the corner. So it's this really pretty dark green shimmer, that one. That's the reason why I liked it so much. But there's another one that I'm going to toss because it's already gone. Like there's no reason for me to keep it unless I want to depot it and use it for other purpose, but no. The one that I loved to death was this one from Resi, Anastasia Beverly Hills palette. Some of them broke, some of them I used. This one I never got to the bottom of it. It's called Yuko. But my favorite one was Barb. And for this reason and this reason only, like it is so pretty. Such a beautiful, pretty pink shimmer. Like, girl, not me packing, like literally hitting it. and that was honestly the only one that was my favorite. Everything else was like daily, but I really love this palette, like for what it was, right? Like it's a classic. Oh my god, I got eyeshadow everywhere. I got dirty, super dirty. Oh well. Laundry day is gonna come by sooner, so it's cool. And the last one was, this one was my absolute favorite for like I think a year and a half, like a daily staple. Like I would mix and match with my other palettes, but KVD Vegan Beauty, what used to be Kat Von D, right? This is KVD Vegan Beauty, but this is the Kat Von D one before, you know, completely sold out. It's my favorite one too. I don't use it as often, but I really love it. The story and the shades, really pretty. This one was like one of my absolute like go-to favorite palettes. I went through this one. I went through like the mattes one very quickly. I would even use them as blush. Then eventually I got to these. Then I started to kind of like take them out and mix them to make them like into body shimmers, like these ones. I would use them for that reason. This one, like for smoky eyes or eyeliners, purple, I would mix them. Really good stuff. Red on its own. And then eventually I just kind of stopped picking at it. You can see where I just stopped picking at it. But I have a tendency of like literally picking my shadows. Like I'll scrape them and I'll like use them as eyeliners, pigments. I'll mix them with like some sort of spray, or I don't know, like I'll mix it with like my body oils or lotions or whatever. Like I like to mix and match stuff. But these I really love these. And then you'll notice, like for example, this one's one of my favorites and it's the greens. They're super soft, so this one broke right away. Super pretty. This one too broke right away. These two were the first. This one fell out first and then this one fell out, so I had to like remold it. But these other two have survived and are in very good shape. But I tend to love something and I tend to like go ham in it until it's finished. And then I'll move on to the next thing and then I'll refocus on that. Like I fixate very quickly. Like you'll notice that there's one shade in every palette that I demolish very quickly. And I think this one, Kassar, is the next one besides this one, right? But this one for Kassar is next. I love the Space Dust one. I've hit pan on it already. The other one that I tend to use a lot, and you can kind of see it here when I sprayed it with like liquid, was the Space Dust, Dark Matter. I'm sorry, I don't know why I thought Space Dust. Dark Matter. Galaxy, I don't play with it as much, but I probably should. just because the blues, and I have a baby blue eyeshadow, I'm sorry, now, so I think I'm gonna start using that. This one I haven't really like cared for it as much, but the one that I love to use the most is Cruz. I don't know why. I ended up depotting the glitter in my first palette. This is my second palette that I purchased. I bought this one like on my cart, I think a year ago, and I haven't really used it. I don't know why, but like I don't know where I sometimes lose interest in palettes. And this one is the one that I just keep because it's like a safe keep, it's like nostalgic. It's the Shade and Light Eye Contour palette. It's so pretty. It's like a quad in a palette, three quads in a palette. I really love them. They're so nice, and you know, they're like my absolute favorite. And I also have like these rhinestones like for the eyes and makeup and like all that cute stuff, but I don't really do that anymore. I kind of like grew out that phase, you know what I mean? Like I'm really trying to depot and get rid of things and really trying to minimize my collection, even though I just signed up for the Ipsy bag. I have a tendency of just kind of like really wanting to minimize, and I finally minimize it, and I go back to like, oh, let me try this or let me try that. I don't really have any other eyeshadow palettes. Like that's pretty much it. I really don't. Except for this one. This one's like, this one I can tell you guys might pick up right away. My favorites. Because it's like a beige. It's the Creamy Huda Beauty Grayish Creamy Obsessions palette. I use those two for like bases. I think this palette itself is just my absolute favorite. Like there's not a shade here that I don't use and I don't go ham into. Like I really love it. Oh yeah, and I have the other one. What the heck? I can't believe I forgot about these two. These are like my favorites. These are like my absolute favorites. See? I don't think you can tell. These are super pigmented, so I feel like it takes a little longer to get through them. But my absolute favorite shadow so far that I go ham onto is this one. And then the one that I tend to use a lot, for whatever reason I'm really drawn to, is the Avant-Garde, this one. It's such a beautiful, like, smoky shade. I don't really care for like this part of the palette, and I think it's very obvious because they're so neutral. Like I feel like this part kind of like threw it off. I'm more into this scheme right here. Like if this was the palette, it would have been perfect for me because those six I don't use as much. I'll probably start using them for like blush, bronzer, you know, other things. Like I don't really go for them, but these I do. I love the grunge oil like base. I tend to use that all over my eyelid too. I bought this one in November. I bought this one when it first came out. I don't even remember when I bought it. Let me see. When did I purchase this one? Also, I'm wearing the Charlotte Tilbury airbrush lip product. I don't really like it. It dries down. My lips feel dry is the problem, but they're not dry because it's a formula that moves. Like, you see, like it moves. But yet my lips feel dry. I think it's very silicone-y. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of Charlotte Tilbury products. I don't know what it is. It doesn't sit right with me, the way the products sit on my lips and how they, you know, I don't know how to explain it. I don't like it. When did I purchase that one then? Or was it through Sephora? I bought it recently. Maybe it was Sephora and I'm here thinking it was some other time. Well, the cherry blossom powder, I actually don't use it as much as I thought I was going to. I bought it, when did I purchase it? January 15. And I still have it. Where are you? So it's about this much left. I'm gonna finish it and I'm probably not gonna purchase it anymore because I don't know why out of nowhere, like the powder also, I love the Huda powder, but I noticed that in my eye area it doesn't sit as nice as it used to. I feel like it gives me a lot of texture, so I'm not gonna use it anymore. This one is beautiful as long as I mix it with some sort of like either super light skin tint, which this one is, it just coincides as the Ciate Extraordinary BB cream, or I have to mix it with like my Chanel one. Like I have to mix it in order for it to look right on my skin, because this makes my pores look really big and textured and makes me look oily. Like right now this is just skincare. I had a serum, a mask, I have my like my actual face cream, I have my SPF, I have all of that on my skin. But when I put this one on alone, even with it doesn't matter what it is, I just look really oily. My pores look huge. You can kind of see the shimmer. I feel like I'm already getting to that to like a, and it's weird because I feel like my skin is kind of rejecting it in a way, because I've been using Huda since like 2018, 2019, maybe even before that, because I used to also buy lashes, so I wouldn't be able to tell you. Like I think one of my first lashes was back in 2013, 2014. Like it's insane, right? But anyways, like I try, you know, to really go through my products, use them up. Like I even have this is a shade Light 03, and it's a lot, actually it's a lot darker for me than I expected, but I do use those, right? Like I use them, I try to figure out how to finish them, and then I just won't purchase them until I remember them again, give it a try, and then I usually don't, you know, after a while, for some reason, I'll love them, and then I'll go back and I repurchase a second time, and I don't love it. Like, it's weird. Like, I feel like there's a lot of inconsistencies lately in quality control, I guess, in makeup, or if it's just me being very nitpicky, I honestly don't know anymore, because there is a lot of inconsistencies I'm picking up on. But the Charlotte Tilbury line has been a line I'm not a huge fan of. I don't know what it is. Also, like, their foundation, like in my nose area, it always seems to just disappear. And I hate that. So that's one of the reasons why I stopped purchasing and giving like Charlotte Tilbury products a shot, was because of that. This lip product from Charlotte drives me up a wall because it's smooth. It's supposed to be like hydrating. At least that's what I was told when I purchased it. But I find absolutely nothing hydrating or comfortable about it. Like there's nothing that keeps me really like, you know, anchored to it where I want to continue to use it. And quite honestly, I'm already used to using this red lipstick. I'm pretty sure you guys already know which one I'm referring to, and it's the MAC one. The MAC one has been a classic for many years. And I don't ever plan to change that about a red lipstick. I'll forever stick to my Ruby Woo, but I wanted to give something else a try, just because, you know, I mean, like, maybe, you know, I've heard a lot of good things about it. But at the end of the day, it's not what I'm looking for. Like, I like that the one from MAC is a blue red. You see what I'm saying? Like, that to me is more flattering than this bright cherry red. This is pretty, don't get me wrong, but it's not the red I would go for. And there wasn't a tester at the time at the Ulta that I bought it at. So when I tried it, I absolutely hated it. And I had already thrown out the receipt. I don't know why it didn't occur to me to keep it. And I look at it and I don't like the way it sits on my face at all. Like how I said, I don't know if it's me being very nitpicky or what the issue is, but I don't like it. And versus when I use like my MAC one, I was gonna say Maybelline, my MAC one, I really love it. It's great. It's amazing. It's fantastic. Like, it's one of my favorite products. So I can see the difference right away when I use that to this. Maybe y'all will pick it up, maybe you won't, I don't know. But I'm not wearing any foundation. I'm not wearing anything on my skin. It's just my skin. it just has a more classic look in my opinion. I don't know what it is, but I prefer this one over any other shade of red. I don't like orange reds. Those annoy me. You want to piss me off, give me an orange red. You want to put me in a really bad mood, give me an orange red. Or a burgundy that ends up setting brown. That genuinely bothers me. Like, that will put me in a mood for days on end. And this is matte, so I don't have to worry about it moving once I blot it, once I let it sit. I feel like I can talk more comfortably versus this one. I feel like it never sets, so I feel like I always have stuff on my teeth, and I check and I do. Not a huge fan of the Charlotte Tilbury. So compare and contrast, you know, this is actually a lip balm, but, you know, compare and contrast from this one to this one. I prefer this one. It's a winner forever and always. But this one, I just use it because I need to use it up, because I'm not going to let it die, you know? So what I'm trying to do now is I'll just, you know, mix it. And hope for the best. I don't know, like, it makes me feel like I'm crusty. I can't explain it. I think my thing is more of a texture, because the color isn't that bad, but also, like, it's the texture and the feeling I get after the fact. I feel like I can't talk right. I don't know. It gets really into my head. I don't know. But anyways, I'm going to leave it here. I'll talk to you guys later. Y'all have a good day and take care.